But let's talk about y'all in your career. 25 years ago, Living Single showcased the personal lives and professional experiences of six friends living in a Brooklyn brownstone. Did you guys realize at the time what y'all had, that how great, how impactful, how big of a deal, how great it was of a show? Because it was, and man, classic, instant classic.
I think we all understood that we were on something that was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I knew it was important. I didn't understand how important.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't understand that until I got to be a lot older and away from the show. But I think we all knew that we were saying something in our community, and we wanted to make sure that it was of a certain caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's of a certain class.
How does it feel to know that that show influenced, it really did influence shows like Friends and Insecure, whether they want to give credit or not, especially Friends? We see you. How does that feel knowing that?
It actually feels great, and I will say that I knew immediately. The six of us got along very quickly. There was a beautiful chemistry immediately, and so again, you can't know the impact until the impact is felt years and years and years. You know, I've met little girls named Sinclair that their mothers watched the show and then introduced them to the show. There's no way you can know that in advance. But I do agree with TC that the love and intention was put into every moment that we were there. And how does it feel to know that we've influenced these other shows? You know, I can't take that to the bank, but there's a knowing that I have, and there's a knowing that other people who know, who say thank you. You know, there's enough people who know or feel that way. And listen, it doesn't matter. You know, we were influenced by something else. There's always influence. There's always your ancestors. I guess I'm calling myself old, but I can't take TC. Do not call me old. I guess I don't sit on those laurels. I don't expect it, but it's nice to know that everything has led to everything else, and everything always leads to everything else,
Nice. Well,
whether it's Living Single or whoever came before us.
Yeah, and
TC, I definitely want to ask you about, you've opened up about being axed from the series after, you called up the network for allegedly neglecting the show in favor of Friends. And when did you realize they were shifting their focus to Friends? And did it feel obvious?
well, I don't think I called them out about that, and I don't think there was an obvious shift. We didn't feel that. We were just going to work.
Mm-hmm.
But when we saw the show, we knew it was a derivative of our show.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's two separate entities creating, the show. We didn't feel any less. They weren't taking anything away from us. We had issues, other kind of issues on our set. They weren't related to Friends at all. So we didn't really. We just saw it, and we knew, oh, that's our show. Well, okay, and then we started hearing that they were getting more money, and that didn't sit well. But it kind of is what it is.
$1 million an episode. You name one Black show where they pay $1 million an episode? Anybody? I'll wait.
Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom,
$500,000?
doom, 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 doom.
400,000. 300,000. Maybe Blackish. Maybe Anthony Anderson on Blackish.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
So
I'll say that I was aware of the disparities, but we didn't stop working. We didn't stop doing what we were doing because we knew that. Listen, we were both on the same production, under the same production company, and it's clear that they were over there on the big lot, and they were getting their $1 million salaries and their $1 million production, whatever that is. But that didn't stop us from still creating awesome stuff. We were fully aware of it, and it's like we still got to do what we got to do. And yeah.
But it wasn't about that. It really was about us having this life on screen that we knew people could relate to. It was the next incarnation, I guess, or the next step after Different World. You had Cosby Show, you had the little kids. You had Different World, you had the college kids. You had Living Single and Martin, they were the young adults.
Yeah.
You know, so now we need the next one.
That was to me, that was a golden era of sitcoms. That whole time, like we had so many classics, and we don't have them now. Like we had so many classics. Is it true that in 2018, Yvette Lee Bowser, the creator of Living Single, revealed that executives wanted to cut Erica Alexander's character from the show? Do you know why that was? And do you think the show would have survived without Maxine Shaw?
I don't think the show really survives if anybody from the original cast is gone.
X.
Ding, 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 ding. Present company included.
But the chemistry between us, you don't buy that. You can't manufacture that, you know. And when you have that group of people, when you start taking people out of that and substituting, you change the dynamic that you liked in the first place.
Yeah.
You know, so to take Erica out of that would have changed the whole dynamic that they were happy about in the beginning. You know, and again, you have people making decisions on our characters that have no clue about who we are or what our experiences are. You know, so let me shut up.
I think the show was perfectly casted as a viewer. I couldn't even imagine any of you gone from that. Yep. Perfect as is.
We experienced it, and I don't want to, you know, put someone on the spot. We experienced a loss of a limb in that way, and it was not pleasant. And the show did not last. The show did not last.
A loss of a limb?
Yeah.
Limb.
That limb
right over there. When I got fired, baby.
Oh yeah,
that chocolate delicious brother right there. Yeah. It was not pleasant at all. Not pleasant. But politics, I still don't know the reason why. I don't think we'll ever really know fully the reason why.
No, there's no explanation when this happens. It's not like, oh, they don't tell you the fake budget excuse, or
they made up excuses and didn't tell us until it had already happened, and that was funky. I don't want to bring it up. I don't want to bring it up. It was funky. It was
talking about it now. Hell.
Yeah.
But trust me, the fans, I mean, it's not like the fans don't feel it and want to know. You know what I mean? Like it's a big deal.
Well, I mean, it kind of is. I mean, you know, you lose jobs all the time. You know, I tell people all the time, I was looking for a job when I got this one, so that means I can be looking for another one. You know, there's a way to do something that's kind and considerate. And then there's a way to make you feel like it didn't matter that you were there.
Right.
And they chose the latter. And it's okay, because I know that what we did, the work that we put forth, resonates. I have young men coming up to me even today and saying that I didn't have a father at home. I learned how to talk to women or have empathy or treat my sisters by watching you. I learned how to dress watching you, and I learned how to be my brother's brother watching you in Overton. So those images, they try to make us feel that the comedic images are just that, it's just comedy, but that's not it. We are telling stories. We are molding young people's view of who they are through these images. And it's important. It's important what we decide to put out.
Listen, the way Kyle wore his hair as a stockbroker, you know, in the 90s, the way he dressed, the way he added his African flair, the way Overton and Sinclair had a really sweet, innocent love that was pure and delicious. We hadn't seen those images. We hadn't seen a woman striving for her new magazine and to make it strong, to make it tough. We hadn't seen a woman who is sexually, I won't say free, but, you know, aware of herself and happy to be who she is, and someone else, you know, trying on the bougie side, but we really know that she's down. We hadn't seen those characters before. Yeah, and that's why they endure, and there's such a nostalgia for it now. I cut you off, TC. Sorry about that.
No, just not that age group. We hadn't seen that Black people in that age group being those people.
And I think, you know, when these white executives make these decisions on our Black shows, when we have so few of them, it's almost like it's hard to not take it personally. You know what I mean? Because like we don't have a ton to watch. So the ones that we do have.
Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That we don't have a ton to watch. We have everything we need to have to create what we want to see.
Okay, that's fair.
We keep asking somebody else to be the holder of our stories, and they have no vested interest except for money. So when we stop that and start creating content that we want to see, because right now you can't tell me that you can't have a channel on this box here. So no, you don't have to have a network channel, but you can have a channel creating content for us. And if we come to your channel, eventually they will come to you. They will come to you and ask, can we be a part of what you're doing?
And then we'll have the leverage to be able to say yes or no.
So again, it really is about us taking this time and understanding our power, not only our economic power, but our spiritual power and our artistic power. This country runs on who we are. This world runs on who we are, and we give it away all the time.
That's so true. I believe that's why Fox Soul came into fruition. You know what I mean? And we are doing it. I guess I was just going back to the past, you know, maybe before we realized we can do all this stuff, because I felt like we were more asking for permission before, or we didn't think we had those outlets. But now people, you know, look at the example Tyler Perry is setting, and Fox Soul, I might add, and other outlets where we're like, you know what? We won't wait on CBS. We'll create one. We'll make a network, a Black network.
I want to say too, there have been pockets of people doing this for a long time. People don't give credit. Tim Reed had his own studio
long time ago,
before Tyler Perry even. Now, of course, we know Tyler Perry's become a billionaire and we know what it is, but there have been people in pockets doing excellent work with Black and brown people. And we just need to, you know, do more, so that now we have a variety. You can go over there and work, or you can go over there and work, or you can do it yourself. And there is enough economic power and enough economic strength to be able to fund it all, so that we don't have to go to others.
Somebody who doesn't have, they don't really get it. You know, I'm not saying that not to work across the lines and not work to, you know, work with everybody across the board, ethnicity wise. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, can we use what we have for us? Can we just use it for us? And everybody else will get the benefit for it, but can we use it for us? And see what happens when we do that.
My prayer is throughout this, you know, the way COVID happened and the civil unrest and how things, we have been seeing a shift in some regards. And I've never seen as many Black people now supporting, actively seeking out Black owned businesses like we finally have now. And I really hope we can just piggyback and just kind of continue this momentum long after COVID is over, because I don't know when we're going to have a chance like this and have this kind of momentum that we have built up. So before we go, I definitely want to talk about your current projects. TC, you independently released a new video for your re-release single, Come Together. What was the inspiration behind that video?
Well, I really wanted to, as an artist, I wanted to say something during this time period. And because of my age, it wasn't wise for me to be out protesting. So, but I wanted to be able to lend my voice some kind of way. And I was listening to this album a while ago, and I went, wow, this song could work. And I talked to a friend of mine in Chicago, Jerome, and he put together the footage. A buddy of mine here in Atlanta shot my footage here. And it really is, the message I wanted to give out was that we can have our differences, but in order for us to get past where we are, get past this place, we got to come together. And it doesn't matter Black, white, young, old, straight, gay, it don't matter. We got to come together. We're all people. So can we come together for our children? Can we come together to make it a better place when we leave here?
Nice. And do you plan to release more music in the future?
Yeah, I'm in the studio now. They're actually waiting on me to come in and do what I need to do. No, I told them I had to do this. But yeah, so hopefully by January, we'll have new music out. I know I've been saying it. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I know I've been saying it. But it's going to happen this time, I promise.
Well, we'll definitely be on the lookout for that. Now, Kim, you're starring in Bounce TV's new show, In the Cut. And I love all the people you're working with. Bentley Kyle Evans, dear friend, tell us about your role and your experience on the show.
Yeah, so, Bentley called in November and said, come on and do this show for me. It's great to not to have to audition. And I remember, talk about For Us, By Us. I get on the set and he says, okay, this is the character. go do what you want to do, go play, go have fun. And it's a highly collaborative experience. And I got to work with Mark Curry and a lot of, Dorian Wilson, who's amazing, who played the pastor on our show, Kalita, who's amazing. It was just a really nice experience. And the whole thing was shot and put in the can in January. So by the time all the lockdowns happened, I was like, oh, my work here is done. So it's just now airing, and we're doing our promotions all over Zoom and things like this. And so that's been a lot of fun to experience. Oh, and the characters, some like no one I've ever played before. She's rough and tough and ballsy and badass, and I love her. I love her.
I've been on that set before, and it's such a good vibe. It's such it really is like, you could tell everyone loves working with each other, and it's fun. So
it creates this collaborative experience where the writers are on the set at the same time, and they suggest new things, and he says, just play, we'll put the camera on, let's just go. And so it's really unique and wonderful experience.
And so kudos to Bentley as well, Bentley Kyle Evans. He's been doing this for a long time in the sitcom world, so we got to give people their flowers. So I really enjoyed talking to you both.
Yeah, thank you.
TC,
oh, there we are. Okay, I had lost my picture. I couldn't see myself. Hey.
Y'all were awesome, and I mean, everyone wants to know if there's ever going to be a reboot of Living Single with TC. It's the only way I'm watching it. Is that ever in the talk? Is that ever in conversation?
Kim, you answer that, Kim.
The way I always say, and people talk, there's a lot of conversation, but I say that I've been neither contacted nor contracted.
There you go.
So there's a lot of talk about it, but the powers that be and whoever holds the power to make it happen has not pushed the button yet. I say, let's do it while we all still look good, and praying that everyone would come together. That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. So people, there's, it's in the talk, but there's nothing really happening right now.
Okay. Well, maybe someone Black owned and operated can do it and put it out there.
There you go.
There you go.